Okay, guys, welcome back to class. Today is week 7, day 1. How was the weekend?
No present.
Anyone do drugs this weekend?
No.
No, come on.
Did you do drugs this weekend?
I drank a little bit. Yeah, I drank a little. I hope you guys did a good job with your portfolio. Some of you did. Let's go actually ahead and review some before we move forward. This is highs.
Wow.
Incredible.
Hi.
Yeah, he's got some type text. A parallax effect right here. It's kind of cool.
Portfolio.
Like what he did right here. I was thinking about making a pull request in on his repository, because I feel like some of you guys, when I was reading through your code, you didn't do certain things right. Did anyone figure out how to make this number always be correct? Can someone give me a solution? Yeah, you just call a function, right? Yeah, you just get the year. So you could do something like const d equals new date. And you do that get year.
Get full year.
Full year. I don't know. I've seen a lot of portfolio pages that are not, for some reason, done right. Like how it's like one line of fucking JavaScript.
Websites in general that are like that, because it's so quick. People just think, oh, 2019, bang, done, ship it off. There's tons of websites out there.
I know. That's what I'm trying to say. Even in the portfolios that we shared with you guys, there's some of them. I remember the one I was just like, what? How? You just gotta know just a little bit of JavaScript. I want to see how difficult this is.
I actually use moments for that.
Really?
Yeah.
You could have just.
It worked. It worked.
I know, but that's overkill almost. Moment does a lot of things, other things. So like it translates into different languages. Yeah, and in just different formats. But do you see what I just did right there, Tim?
Yeah.
What I do? Tell me.
You create a new variable, and then you use the get full year function from JavaScript.
Okay, exactly. Yeah. So also another thing that you guys see, like you can see all these headers right here. Beautiful AI has like a description and their own icon, and so does our internal gradebook that we use for you guys. But none of you guys have this up here. Okay, this is useful. You got to put headers on your tabs, put meaningful descriptions, and inject your icon up here in the top. No one did this correctly. Some people changed just the text. One person changed just the icon. And someone threw away the icon that they already had. But overall, it was well done. I don't want to hate you guys. I want you guys to have good previews. That's what I'm thinking about. You guys got to get in the habit of thinking about things like this. So for example, if you look at if you guys look on this page right here, like there's like a header. This will display correctly in Google. There's like a whole fucking part of fucking web development that's focused on just making sure that like people find you on the internet, right? So you guys gotta have good stand #1 in Google, all that stuff. Sorry for criticizing you guys all the time. But anyway, yeah, good job overall. I like it. I feel like you guys have done better than previous students. Overall, I think overall you guys are doing better. I think it's because, not to sound cocky, but maybe it's because I've gotten better. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not sure, but I think you guys have overall done pretty good. Because like all these projects so far I've seen are presentable. That's what you guys need. Just something kind of presentable, okay? Yeah. Citibank. Someone worked at a bank. Yeah, man. Everyone has something dope, man. For real. Everyone has something nice. This one changes colors, kind of.
Wow.
You see that?
Yeah, that's cool. Is that an animation like it just hard coded?
No, I was doing state and I just switched the colors from dynamics down.
Oh, look at the slide in right here. Nice.
Pretty decent. That's what they're stupid.
Those little animations, man, you love them. They always stick out. I like this one too. Look at the color, man. It's fucking dope.
Who did that?
Qua? I think it's Qua. Yeah, Qua did it?
Wow.
This one looks good, man. That's a good one. I like it. Incredible. Incredible. This one's pretty too. Yeah, I like yours too, Tongue. Everyone's I like in a certain way, you know. This one's kind of static right here.
Yeah, I know. I didn't have time to do it.
It's okay. But I hope you guys see by looking at your classmates so far that there's a lot of different things that could look beautiful, man. And like there's no real way to like put that inside of one description. So you guys kind of got to figure it out, and like the expectation is that you guys can do that yourselves. At this point in class, you guys should be comfortable with like putting shit on the screen, changing to different colors, showing different pictures in all types of different ways, right? Hiding stuff, showing stuff at different routes, etc. So, without further ado, we're gonna start today's lesson. We're gonna be talking about Python. Oh my God, am I recording? Okay. Yeah. What is Python?
Animal?
Yes. I already did all this part. Okay, the first 6 weeks we did all this stuff. That's what it took to build beautiful UIs. For the next couple weeks, we're gonna be looking at Python, databases, Flask, and web frameworks. We'll figure them out as we go, okay? I know this sounds like foreign languages to you guys, but for the next four weeks, we're gonna be focused on building APIs, okay? We're not gonna be using JavaScript for the next 4 weeks, but you guys will use it eventually in your final project again. Python and JavaScript are both interpreted languages. That means that their variables can be unknown at runtime. And this is a super complicated computer science issue that you guys will one day become more familiar with if you guys move on to different programming languages. But just know that there are different types of programming languages, just like there are different types of frameworks, and they all have their trade-offs. This is an example of what we mean when we say that JavaScript is a interpreted language. When you read this code right here, when we get this value amount right here, we don't always know what it's gonna be. What does that mean? Yeah, it could be either a string or an integer, and that can cause certain types of problems. You guys haven't written enough code yet, like where you can make a distinction. To be honest with you, sometimes I don't know if I've written enough code yet to make a distinction between which one is better. You know, because when I watch like professional people at conferences, I've seen people at conferences say they had like 30 years experience programming. I was like, holy fuck, man, how fucking good is that dude? You know? So I'm telling you that like at this point, like I haven't, the difference between like scripted and interpreted languages, I don't even know if I can tell like the real difference yet. So just know that right now in this JavaScript code, right, the problem with this code is that when you prompt a user, right, for some reason, like this code right here, it may or may not throw an error because the reality is no one here remembers exactly. What amount right here, guys? Is this gonna be a string or an integer? Yeah, obviously there's a rule to it, right? There's a rule to it. It's gonna be one or the other. We could check it, right? Just do prompt let go equal prompt. Hi. It's a string. So sometimes the input, if the user fucks with you, they put in a string instead of a number, right? That will mess up your program. And that's what's one of the downsides of interpreted languages, because people can mess with your inputs and that causes other types of problems. There are ways to fix this, which is called Flow and TypeScript. Those of you who like front-end design, one day you guys may need to learn TypeScript because certain people love TypeScript. TypeScript is what gives you the ability to do this right here. So we do new const go equals, I can use that one now that I think about it. Const la equals new date. Law.get. Do you see this this drop down right here? That gives you all types of useful information. That's made possible because of TypeScript. TypeScript just does a whole bunch of more additional magic, and it allows you to basically explain what your code does, right? It allows you to explain what your code does so that it can be much more better documented. Does anyone have any questions? You see this right here, this drop down? That's why a lot of, say again?
It is very familiar to JavaScript, TypeScript.
TypeScript is a form of JavaScript, but you have to do, there are more advanced rules. Right, there are more advanced rules, but these advanced rules give you benefits. Do you see how right here, when I do law.get, it's suggesting to me some functions that I can write? Inside of our code, what if we wanted our code to suggest to us what functions we should call? Right? So right now React does not have that built in. So just know that there are like just a whole world of possibilities that we haven't covered yet. But one day you guys may need to learn about them. But we need to learn how to build everything. So we're not going to do the most advanced front end, the most advanced back end. We're going to get our feet wet in both. Python is dope for running like super complicated algorithms. It's a fast language. One of the big differences between Python is that it doesn't use curly braces, but it does have white spacing. Like white spacing is important. If we do not white space correctly, then our applications will throw an error. And I'm going to show an example in just a second. So here's some resources you guys can check out.
In this video, I'm going to answer top 3 questions my students asked me about Python. What is Python? What you can do with it? And why is it so popular? In other words, what does it do that other programming languages don't? Python is the world's fastest growing and most popular programming language, not just amongst software engineers, but also amongst mathematicians, data analysts, scientists, accountants, network engineers, and even kids, because it's a very beginner-friendly programming language. So people from different disciplines use Python for a variety of different tasks, such as data analysis and visualization, artificial intelligence and machine learning, automation. In fact, this is one of the big uses of Python amongst people who are not software developers. If you constantly have to do boring, repetitive tasks, such as copying files and folders around, renaming them, uploading them to a server, you can easily write a Python script to automate all that and save you time. And that's just one example. If you continuously have to work with Excel spreadsheets, PDFs, CSV files, download websites and parse them, you can automate all that stuff with Python. So you don't have to be a software developer to use Python. You could be an accountant, a mathematician, or a scientist and use Python to make your life easier. You can also use Python to build web, mobile, and desktop applications, as well as software testing or even hacking. So Python is a multi-purpose language. Now, if you have some programming experience, you may say, but Marsh, we can do all this stuff with other programming languages. So what's the big deal about Python? Here are a few reasons. With Python, you can solve complex problems in less time with fewer lines of code. Here's an example. Let's say we want to extract the first 3 letters of the text, hello world. This is the code we have to write in C#. This is how we do it in JavaScript. And here's how we do it in Python. See how short and clean the language is? And that's just the beginning. Python makes a lot of trivial things really easy with a simple yet powerful syntax. Here are a few other reasons why Python is so popular. It's a high-level language, so you don't have to worry about complex tasks, such as memory management, like you do in C++. It's cross-platform, which means you can build and run Python applications on Windows, Mac, and Linux. It has a huge community, so whenever you get stuck, there is someone out there to help. It has a large ecosystem of libraries, frameworks, and tools, which means whatever you want to do, it is likely that someone else has done it before, because Python has been around for over 20 years. So in a nutshell, Python is a multi-purpose language with a simple, clean, and beginner-friendly syntax. All of that means Python is awesome. Technically, everything you do with Python, you can do with other programming languages, but Python's simplicity and elegance has made it grow way more than other programming languages. That's why it's the #1 language employers are looking for. So whether you're a programmer or an absolute beginner, learning Python opens up lots of job opportunities to you. In fact, the average Python developer earns a whopping $116,000 a year. If you found this video helpful, please support my hard work by liking it and sharing it with others. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel because I have a couple of awesome Python tutorials for you. You're going to see them on the screen now. Here's my Python tutorial for beginners. It's a great starting point if you have limited or no programming experience. On the other hand, if you do have some programming experience and want to quickly get up to speed with Python.
Okay, that's enough of that, guys. Okay, so do you have any questions so far about what we're about to start doing? Today, we're just gonna spend today writing a bunch of like methods and stuff that, you know, manipulate data, right? A function, we call it, put in some data, take out some data, stuff like that. That's not too complicated, right? Except we're gonna do it in Python. Now I'm gonna show you two different ways to do this, just a little bit of it, guys, because I want you guys to know how I learned programming languages, okay? Like this is something I really did to get better at different languages. So whenever I want to learn a new language, I like going to Google and typing in Python Cones, or whatever language is. There's this like program on the internet, man. It's called Cones, right? It's just basically a bunch of exercises in any programming language. You can learn any programming language, and this works for me. So I'm gonna show you guys what it does, okay? So we'll Google it and we'll see it's a GitHub page. It's usually the first one. And you can see, I think this is it. It's got you know, a bunch of people that have used it. So I'm gonna go ahead and clone it. Okay, yeah. So you guys are gonna have to Google how to install Python. Oops. If you guys cannot run this command in your terminal, that means you guys got to Google and then say, hey, I need to run Python -v. Okay, make sure that you can run this in your terminal. You guys are all expected to know how to be able to research how to install different libraries. One day you guys want to learn how to build a Node.js application, you got to learn how to install Node.js. If you want to learn how to build a Flutter application, you're going to have to Google how to install Flutter. Is that clear, guys? Every single framework has a documentation, every single one of them, on how you install it. And specifically, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through this one. There's something called pip. Pip here, this is the library that manages Python. This is almost like NPM. What does NPM do, guys?
So, library for JavaScript?
Yeah, it's for packages. Like it helps you manage your packages, little copies of code. This one library, that one library, okay? Pip works kind of the same way. But in a moment, I want you guys to, so the exercises you guys see today, some of them will be on Google Colab, right? I want you guys to choose which one, read both of them, and decide which one you guys like doing, right? There's two different assignments. I think they both are great assignments. Okay, guys?
I don't see anything on learning portal now.
So if you guys go to learning, you guys refresh, my bad. We go to learning, week 7.
No, I don't see it.
Oh, you guys don't, you don't see week 7 entirely?
No.
Oh, my bad. Why is my screen frozen? Why is my screen frozen? What the fuck? Okay, there we go. So, you guys don't see 7? You sure? The fuck? Okay, my bad, I got it. You guys can see that I'm updating our course material, and guess what I'm using? Git. Update week 7. Pushing to master. Just kidding, I'm pushing the code to school. And then go to code to school. When I push the code to school branch, it deploys to our web application. Where does our web application live? Learning.codeschool.vn. This is a real web application. You guys see it yet? Yeah? All right, sweet. So here, so there's the first one. I'm gonna show you the one I like first, okay? This is how I've learned it. So what I was talking about a second ago. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this URL, right? It's Python clones. Once again, you guys have to have Python installed to do this, to be able to do this. So you can see that I have Python 3-7. I'm gonna run git clone, this thing right here, and I'm gonna call it Python P clones for Python. The reason why I like putting P or R or whatever in front of it is because I have a bunch of projects on my computer. It helps me to remember better. Okay, so now I'm inside the project. I'm gonna open up VS Code. What the fuck? Okay, guys, once you've opened up VS Code, you guys will see that this thing that we just cloned from Python, it has two folders inside of it, right? Inside of the Python 3, which is what you guys should be learning, the newest version of Python, there's a file called contemplateClones.py. So you guys can move into that folder, Python 3, and then run it. So you can run it by typing in Python 3, and then the name of the file, okay? When you run it, you're gonna see something. Oops, kind of small. You're gonna see that it starts complaining. What is this thing right here that's red? Does this remind you guys anything from last week? Yes, this is exactly what it is. It's a test. Steven is right. So what it's doing is this file, Python clones, it has a responsibility. It's just going to look inside of a bunch of different files and see whether or not there's an error. And how is it going to do that? Well, it's going to tell you what file you're supposed to look at. So specifically, it's telling you about a search.py, line 17. There's a failure. And when you guys do this exercise, there are two advantages. You're going to learn about testing, and you're going to learn about Python. You're going to learn the syntax. So I'm going to show you how we fix this, okay? So you jump into the file clones, and then you find this folder. So you see it right here. It complains about the most recent one that fails. Or you can just do Command P and then do about search.py. You scroll down and then just read the comments, man. It's important that you guys read these comments, okay? And some of the things are gibberish, right? Some of these things are gibberish, so they don't mean nothing, right? But this is the most important thing, okay? I'll give you the simplest example. This is the simplest. Just know that this will run as a test, okay? And it's going to tell you about what line it complains about. What line does it complain about? Line 17, right? Inside of about asserts, we're inside of about asserts right here in our VS Code. So it's complaining about self.assertTrue is equal to false. So this is actually a test, okay? And what it's trying to say is that, like, hey, I'm thinking that this thing will be true. This should be true. And the reason why it's throwing an error is because this is false. So now you can type in true. Oops. We type in true, and then we run it again. What? Did I say this? Why did this not throw it?
It's not on line 17, is that? Like it's on line 18.
I know it's confusing right now. I'm actually a little bit confused. I'm a little bit confused. Why is this error? Okay, let me think about this. CD Python 3. Python contemplate. False is not true.
You are opening Python 2 in your script.
Oh my God, thank you. Jesus Christ. Thank you. Okay. Thank God. Okay, so what was it again? About asserts in Python 3, right? Okay, about. Thank you guys. Oh my God. I shouldn't see the command piece. Sometimes bad for you. I kind of read it too quickly. All right, so let's go ahead and run it now. I expect us to see this number go up. Okay, we should see that we increase the number that we've did correctly. So what? We completed one, right? We completed one thing. And you guys see that it's like just says some gibberish right here. But what they're trying to tell you is that you now understand a little bit about Python code. Okay? Does anyone have any questions? So you guys got to do these one by one. And this is going to get more complicated. So what I mean by that. So let's just go ahead and move forward real quick. I'm gonna comment these all out. Oh, fuck it, let's just do all of them. Fuck it. So this should be true. Please fix this, right? So you can see that if we do assert true and then we run it again, that we're moving forward and we've done two correctly. Okay. So now read the name of it. Actually, now my bad. This isn't complete gibberish. Right now, it's trying to help teach you understand what's something that sticks out for you with this word true right here, guys. That sticks out from JavaScript. It's capitalized, right? In JavaScript world, this true is not capitalized, right? And just another thing, my bad, I kind of zoomed over this. On line 19 through 23, this is a function. Okay, this is simply a function definition, and this is the minimum syntax that you have to have. It's def is the same thing as function, and then the name of the function in Python, it's snake case. Do you remember how in JavaScript we use camel case? First letter small, second letter big, third letter big, fourth letter big, and so on. So it goes like this. In Python, everything hugs the floor. So we want our variable names and our function names to be lowercase, and we want them to be connected by underscores.
Do they break if not written in that format? Or
it depends. It depends on how you not write in this format. But what I'm trying to say that's the way you're supposed to do it. One thing I like about this right here, like this technique, is that like it also like teaches you guys about just everything, right? So test fill in the values, right? You saw earlier that it said assert true, right? We did assert true and we injected a true, and then that passed the test, right? We did the same thing on line 23. Now we can read the name of this definition right here and see that says test fill in values, and it says assert equal. Something is equal to 1 plus 1.
What is the self and the parenthesis of the function?
Okay, so this right here is in Python, this is the syntax you always use, okay? You always have to, whenever you call a function, the first argument is self. Notice that there's also no curly braces. In a second, let me just show you a couple examples of this, and I'm gonna go, I'm gonna make it simpler, okay? I want you guys to do these ones too, okay? So can someone assert something, help me out here? What is something that's equal to, this thing right here, assert equal. It's saying two things are equal. But what is this? The parentheses. So it's a function call, okay? So know that whenever you call this function, that you're passing it two arguments. And is 2 the same thing as 1 plus 1? I think so. And you guys will see that we've now passed 3 of them. What's another way I could have fixed this? Could have made this 5. Could have made that 6 minus 1. Would that have worked? I think so. I think it would have worked. So once again, we still find that test fill in values is now passing, right? So one more we're gonna do. Test assert equality, okay? So what does this look like on line 35, guys? On the left, we have what looks to be a variable because it's underscored and it's also lowercase. In between something, we have an equal sign. On the right, we have 2 underscores. We need to replace the underscores, right? And specifically, you'll see that in a moment on line 35, we're gonna assert that it's true that expected value is going to be the same thing as actual value, right? On line 37. So what is actual value on line 37? It's 2 because we defined it on line 36, right? So how can we fix this? What can I put on line 35 to make this pass?
So expected value is like how you write variables in Python?
Yeah, so what you can see the syntax right here. In JavaScript, you have to do this. Const expected value equals 1 or something like that, right? But in Python, you don't have to put the const or the let. You just say a name of the variable, underscore if it's multiple words, equals whatever, right? So in order to make line 38 pass, notice that right now test assert equality is failing, right? Is it the same thing? Yes, it's this function right here. So we're gonna fix expected value to be 2, and then we're gonna make actual value to be 2, and then we're gonna compare them. So let's see if this works. And you guys can see that now we've passed this test right here. Now they're gonna say test a better way of asserting equality, right? So expected values is something, the actual value is 1, and then they say assert equal. Okay, so what they're trying to say is they want you, when you guys write tests in Python, and say it, instead of saying assert true, assert equal, and don't make the comparison here inside inside of the function call. Don't assert that these two things are equal via a equal signs. Assert that they're equal with the function call. Notice how on line 38 there's assert true, and on line 47 there's assert equal. Does that make sense, guys?
These are built-in functions.
These are built-in functions for Python for our testing library, yeah. It gets complicated, man. It gets complicated, guys. Programming's hard. It isn't easy being number one, you know? You gotta put in the work. You guys wanna make it to the top of the mountain. It's not gonna be easy. So I want you guys to work through this, okay? These things are dope. I'm telling you, these things are dope. You'll learn a lot doing these. There are dozens of files in here. All types of shit that you need to know. It's a ridiculous amount of stuff you guys need to know to learn Python. You guys think JavaScript is hard, man. Python is a whole new world of problems. I thought about what I should share with you guys. You know? I thought about showing you guys the official documentation. Let's just click here. Let's just look around. It's just a crazy amount of stuff you guys need to learn if you want to be a for real Python developer. Let's read this, okay? You guys don't want to listen to me? You think Lloyd knows no idea what he's talking about? Just read the whole documentation.
What's the difference between Python 2 and 3 then? So, like here on Python 2.
So Python, like when languages change over time, they have they have additional methods, right? They have free methods, right? New methods are added that just do different things, okay? So, you know, like you guys got two options here. You guys just read this, you know, from top to the bottom, or you can just do that interactive exercise, okay? I'm telling you the interactive exercise for me, yes, it's kind of difficult. Yes, it takes time, but it's far better than just like going through here and reading this line by line, man. It's impossible to remember all this if you read through this. The examples aren't good, etc. So you want to have any questions?
Why did we have to install the pip again?
Pip?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Say again?
Ask us to install the pip.
Pip install. She's asking about pip install.
Yeah, but why? Like, what is that for again?
Okay, so pip is going to be the same thing as npm, except it's for Python packages. You don't even need to install it right now. Right now, you just need to have Python -- version, okay?
No, Python 3, right?
Yeah, or Python, yeah.
Yeah, because some of the MacBook that can already have Python 2 installed.
Exactly. I mean, I'm going to show you how to set up a new project real quick. My bad. So I'm in my project place. I'm going to go to cd p-exercises. Open up the code editor. My screen keeps freezing. What the fuck? Yeah. I need to close some of this stuff, guys. My bad. Super confused. Hold on. But then it's not open. Okay, here it is. So you guys can see that inside my project, I'm okay with you guys also, the code lab. Once you guys get it installed, get it running on your computer. You guys need access to those files, okay? So where am I at? I'm inside my folder on my desktop called Sierra, and I created a new folder called p-exercises. What do I have inside of here? I have one folder. It's called exercises.py. Now I'm going to show you some basic syntax, okay? I'm going to write some basic syntax, okay? What the fuck? So you guys can see on line 1 we have a comment, and on line 3 we have something called print. We can run Python or Python 3, and the name of the file, exercises.py, and you can see that in this case print functions just like console.log. We can pass print multiple arguments. And you'll see that it prints both of them. In Python, we can have conditionals, just like any other language. If true, we can do print, I'm true, I'm not true. Why do we see I'm true here? Because the value inside of this conditional is a true. If we make it false, I'm not true. What if we try to use lowercase? Python would throw an error. This is a different programming language, okay? It has different syntax. I'm trying to make this very obvious to you guys, okay? So what else do you see that's different between JavaScript? There's no curly braces, okay? But how can it have no curly braces? Because it has a new complication. You have to indent correctly. So now notice what happens when print, whenever I indent it inside, the same thing as the conditional. If I run it, you can see that print throws an error because the indentation matters. Okay? The indentation matters. So we save it, now we run this command, and we can see that now the error goes away. Does anyone have any questions so far? Okay, so let's go ahead and define a new variable. Let's call it class. We'll say the name is, oops, that's a keyword right there. You cannot use class. So we'll just say my class is equal to Sierra. So we can obviously do comparisons here. We can say if my class is equal to Sierra, then we'll say studying code. Should we see studying code, guys? Yeah. Yes, we do. Incredible. We see studying code. In conjunction, when a condition is true, we can also call other functions. So let's just say work hard. You'll see that right now, if I save this and run it, it's going to throw an error. Why does it throw an error? Yes, work hard is not a function that is defined. So we can define this function. And inside of it, we can do whatever we want. So we'll say stay up late, Google a ton, read tutorials. I think I did something wrong here. Remember, with Python, this is how we define a function. And when we define a function, it always gets called with the self. Did something wrong here. Why is this complaining? Work hard. I saw this wrong. I like how it function. Self dot. I can't remember how to do this correctly right now. Quad, what am I doing wrong right here? Huh? What am I doing wrong right here?
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to call this function. Why is it doing this? Oh, it just went away. Why is this? Missing one required positional argument self.
No, you don't use self.
On line 13, self.workhard.
No, use self.
Okay, I don't need self right now. I forget.
Inside class, you can use self.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, my bad. I forgot the syntax. Guys, I know a bunch of programming languages. Sometimes I forget which one means what. I have to Google or ask for help. Okay. So you guys can see that if my class is equal to Sierra, we run a conditional and we call a function. So the function also has some stuff that goes on inside of it. Okay, they're all the same different types of data structures almost inside of Python. What are some of the data structures that you guys know inside of JavaScript? We have something called objects. We have arrays. We have dates. There are different types of data types, and like you guys gotta look at the documentation over time. And that's kind of why I think that this clone thing is sexy. It's gonna show you about a whole bunch of different types of them. Okay? Make sense, everyone? Does anyone have any questions about functions or conditionals or variables?
We learn as we go through.
Yeah. Okay, this is a very simple example, guys. Remember, this is only what, 13 lines of code. Okay. On line 3, we'd find a variable. It follows its own like Python flow. You know, on line 12, we compare that variable to a different to a hard-coded thing. This could have obviously been another variable.
So what is a self-independent for?
Self is for class-based components, and that's a different concept that you'll figure out inside of clones, inside the clones. Okay, it's a more advanced feature. Right now, we don't worry too much about that because like the exercises today are pretty easy, to be honest with you. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more example. Think about it. My bad. So you guys can see that this is the link of the original work. When you guys open up colab.research, you guys will see a bunch of comments here. You guys got to work through them one at a time. Okay, it's something that was written. Okay, you guys click this and then do file. And then you guys say save a copy in Drive, okay? When you guys click that link, click file, click save a copy in Drive. You're gonna see that Google does some magic for us. Just know that Google has helped building the software, and basically you can run Python code inside of here. So you guys can scroll down and read this description. Just know that the first time you click this is gonna take a second. It's gonna take a second to run, okay? There's comments right here and there's little cells that run code, okay? So if I click this button, it takes a second and you guys will see what I just showed you. What do you guys see right here called? Print. What is print, guys? Yeah, it's a function. It's a function. You can tell by the parentheses. Notice how it takes an argument of the parentheses, a string. It can also take an integer. So we did 100 times 10, and we click play again. What do you guys expect to see down here? 1,000, right? So you guys just keep going down, and you guys will see that there's just a bunch of exercises you guys can do to get to know the language, okay? It's just like the JavaScript exercises. All right, so it's last time. Does anyone have any questions about today's lab? Whenever you guys... Yeah, okay.